Good evening, everybody. First, again, I want to remind you, I got a new website going, a forum called www.realistnews.com, and that's where I'm going to be posting stuff probably pretty much daily. And if you guys want to help out and find good information and that kind of thing, even if it's, of course, if it's from another website, you just post it there and link to it, whatever you got to do, you know. Just to get the news there. That's what's important. We need news there that's relevant, that's active, that's, recent, on top of things. So we know that we have a website that we can count on, and not like some of these other websites. You never know what these guys' intentions are. So here's a interesting posting on not my website. I'm going to put a link on my website, but this guy is Harvey Organ. I've reported some things about silver from this guy before, and gold. This guy is on top of stuff. He's got the charts. He's got the statistics. He's got everything down. He doesn't talk out of his butt. He's straight. No nonsense type of stuff, and only basically deals with the facts. And it's Harvey Organ, like ORGAN, HarveyOrgan.blogspot.com. He did this on February 6th, which would have been yesterday. And the title is Silver in Complete Backwardation. Saturday afternoon, this article, near zero contango in COMEX silver futures, came to my attention, in which the author noted that silver was in a zero contango throughout all silver contracts. I have verified this, and this is correct. This means that silver is in very short supply at the spot price, as investors are not willing to sell their metal at spot and buy a futures contract for fear that they will not get the physical metal. This is the first time this has ever happened in silver. The bankers have tried to bid up the prices on silver at the further on. The bankers have tried to bid up the prices on silver at the further out months at the COMEX, trying to keep the facade that silver is in proper contango and ample supplies of silver are with us. This is not true, as we now know that silver is in short supply, as I have indicated to you on many occasions. Adrian Douglas has also presented another paper on silver today. For 7 years, gold and silver have traded in perfect uniformity. If gold goes up by 1%, then silver will rise somewhere around 1%. Douglas has now concluded that the shackles have been removed and silver is now on its own. Douglas also noted that silver is basically in complete backwardation, or no contango. I have highlighted both commentaries for you, and this is probably the most important development in silver for the past 20 years. J.P. Morgan and friends are in deep trouble. That kind of gave me chills when I said that. It felt kind of good, actually. So I'm going to read that last one again. I've highlighted both commentaries for you, and this is probably the most important development in silver for the past 20 years. J.P. Morgan and friends are in deep trouble. And it just makes me think about Max Kaiser. Buy silver, crash J.P. Morgan. Buy silver, crash J.P. Morgan. Well, Max Kaiser would be proud of me, because I've definitely been buying silver over the last, 7, 8, 9, 10, 3 years or so. And everybody else, is doing the same thing, for the most part. Again, those of you out there, I don't have any money, I can't get that kind of silver. 1 or 2 coins is not, it's not that hard to get, $30 a piece. And again, think about it. You're going to see silver in the hundreds of dollars an ounce. So what's costing you $30 today for one of them is going to be $400, $500, $600 tomorrow. Or not necessarily tomorrow, but you know what I mean, in the very near future. So it's a no-brainer. If you can go out, I need a pack of cigarettes, or I'm going to go get this or that or whatever, man, you can come up with $30. And I'm pretty sure the average person could probably come up with $30 per week if they needed to. And that would be 4 coins a month. That'd be, if it went to $600, you're talking $2,400 for 4 coins. That cost you, $30 a piece. So, anyways, I'm not going to harbor on that or preach to y'all. I've had the benefit of being able to see things a long time ago. Maybe some of you have too, that's fine. But I started in 2006 doing research. By 2007, I started saying, okay, I think I might want to get into the silver thing. Bought a little bit. And 2008 came, bought some more. 2009, okay, etc. And bought a little bit more in 2010, not a whole lot more. I'm about to do my income tax like tomorrow, ASAP, and see if we're getting anything back. Which reminds me, while I'm in this little break mode here, there's 2 things you need to put on your list, anyways, of things that I would definitely like to have in an emergency situation. And I've talked about a few things. Gold and silver is, of course, a good thing to have because it's going to be very expensive, and you can use it for bartering or selling for cash, which you have to use cash here. A gun for protection, your family, that kind of thing. Food storage, etc. Now, Costco, the big warehouse company, like Sam's Club, Costco has a 1-year supply. It's for one person, but again, if you're a family of 4, that would be divided by 4. That's 3 months each. Not bad. It's $1,000. It's freeze-dried food. It'll last years and years and years and years. You don't have to touch it. The only thing you have to do is add water to some of it, or most of it. Probably most of it, actually, because it's freeze-dried, so you have to reconstitute it with the water. So for $1,000, man, that's not bad. I'm fixing to get one as soon as income tax comes back, assuming that I get some money back, which I should. That's one thing. The other thing, EcolaBlue.com, they sell these water generator systems. My boss actually bought one. It's probably been over a year now, or maybe a year, I don't know. And it comes with its own complete filter set with a reverse osmosis membrane filter in it with the regular filter set too. And what it does is it will pull water right out of the air, right out of the humidity and whatnot. It'll pull it right out of the air and create, I think it said it'll do about 8 gallons a day roughly. Now, it does depend on humidity and stuff. Of course, in Florida, that's not a problem. But nonetheless, you're going to get some water pretty much every day. I asked him today, he called me, and he was talking about this new business thing he's doing where you dip these things in this water liquid stuff, and like you could dip a paintball gun canister or anything almost, and then you spray it with this stuff, pull it out within seconds, and it's like completely painted. I mean, beautifully, unbelievably painted, like jaw-dropping, like you can't be serious, you just did that in like 5 seconds, And so we got in a discussion for a minute. I said, hey, by the way, didn't you get one of those things, those water filters? He's like, yeah, I got one about a year ago, and they had a promotion. They were giving away a free generator, but I paid $1,300 then. He's like, man, I still got the generator. I've never even opened it out of the box. And I said, well, how's that thing working? He's like, oh, it's great. Perfect, fantastic water. We fill that thing up every day, meaning it produces enough water to shut itself off because they're not drinking enough. In other words, it's more than, there's more than enough humidity here. And it's filling the bladder in the system to its capacity. So he said, man, if they make a thing, I think he said that, they make a thing where you can add another bladder or take that bladder out, put another one in it, and then use that one to drink out of, pour into your pitchers or whatever, and then this other one will start filling up. So it can pull some serious amount of water out of the air. And, of course, it's filtering it with a filter system which is also reverse osmosis, which is like the finest filtering you can do, aside from boiling water, catching the steam, and distillation or whatever. But anyways, I asked them about it. It was good. That's the next thing. They're selling those things now for $1,000. They are not coming with generators, but and that was just a promotional thing, a gas generator, in case your house power goes out or whatever. It was just a promotion they had. But again, he also paid $1,300. They are now $9.99, and they only use about 450 watts. In case you're wondering, your refrigerator uses about 900 watts, maybe 1,000, depending on your refrigerator, maybe more. When it's kicking on, if that's what it's using. Of course, it kicks off and kicks on all day long. The same thing that this thing would do. Once it fills the water up, it's not going to kick on. So those are 2 things you need to get. Again, it's $2,000. I understand that a lot of people can't do that, but it's income tax time. Man, if you got it right now, I need a new TV, I want to go get that flat screen, or I need a new computer, $1,000 computer. Man, think about this, because this is one of those moments where you bite yourself in the butt, or you will in the future, and you'll look back and be very disgusted with yourself, and you might even start throwing up because you're so sick. And thinking, man, I spent that $1,000 on this stupid, damn TV, and it's not even worthy right now. The power's out, or I need $1,000 for food right now. Damn TV, how stupid was that? I really didn't need a new computer. I didn't need that. Don't go there. If you got this $2,000, man, first priority is that Costco.com food storage. All you have to do is go there and search for the word emergency food, and it will come up. It's towards the bottom. They also have more expensive ones that'll feed an entire family of 4 for a year, and that's like $3,000 something. But anyway, it's not. I feel pretty comfortable to say get the 1 year supply for one person, and if you got 3 or 4 people in your family, that's 3 months to 4 months of food for you guys, especially if you have little kids as part of that family of 4. So, anyways, I had to throw that in there, and I'm going to continue with this article. And he wrote this on Saturday, February 5th. Near zero contango in COMEX silver futures. Houston, we are in the process of poring over the data from this week, and just below is something we are going to be hearing a lot more about in the coming days and weeks. As of Friday, February 4, 2011, there was near zero contango in the COMEX silver futures market. And he prints just a little chart. It's too small to really show you. Not that awfully important. Note the very strong outperformance of silver to gold this week. There is likely a very good reason for it. Now, again, let me stop there and remind you of a Webbot prediction from at least 2 to 3 reports ago that said you are going to see the normal ratio of gold to silver, which has been in place for thousands of years, up until approximately 1960 something, which is about 16 to 1, 20 to 1. In other words, 20 ounces of silver buys you 1 ounce of gold, that kind of thing, or 16 ounces to 1. It's usually roughly within that little band. And they said it's going back down there for sure. And by the way, the hint out of the Webbot report is it's gonna exceed the 16 to 1 and the 20 to 1 and go even lower, which means really high silver prices. However, he said you're going to start seeing. And he said as of this writing, the silver market was like 65 to 1 for gold. So it would take you 65 ounces of silver to get 1 gold coin. And not too long after that, it'd been a month or 2 or 3 or whatever, it started to creep off of that. And then it was like 57, then it was 55 to 1. And it's like, hey, there it goes. I hadn't done that before in a long time. And now that's what he's referring to now. That ratio is coming down, and as he just said, the outperformance of silver to gold this week was like really noticeable. So now it's come down even more. It's going to come down even more. It's also why I've been telling you that's why you need silver. Forget gold. If you got gold, fine. But if you're saying, well, I want to go get something, get silver. 1 ounce of gold is going to cost you, today, whatever price, $13.55. You're not going to get it for that price. You're going to have to spend probably $50 over that spot price. So you're basically going to pay $1,400 for it. When you could buy $1,400 worth of silver and have a bunch of silver coins in your hand that are going to outperform gold anyways. That doesn't mean it'll be higher price than gold. It just means it will outperform it. If I have $1,400 in silver and a pile of $1,400 in gold, and in 2 years from now, the pile of silver will bring me back more money than the pile of gold. That's what that means. So, continuing. Contango, where the spot price of a commodity is lower than the following futures contracts, is the normal conditions in the precious metals future markets. Contango is a sign that a commodity is in ample or adequate supply. Backwardation means that the cash or spot price is higher than the futures price for the same commodity. Backwardation occurs when demand for immediate delivery outstrips the market's ability to deliver the commodity. Backwardation occurs when there are too few sellers of the physical commodity to accommodate all of the actual buyers, so a near premium develops to compensate the sellers willing to part with the metal in return for taking delivery later. When there is a zero contango, it means that there is not even one futures contract that is higher than the current spot or cash price. Zero contango and structural backwardation, where each succeeding futures contract is lower for most or the entire strip, is also known as an inverse carry market because the futures no longer compensate holders for the cost of carry, capital, storage, and insurance relative to the spot price. Continued. We cannot overemphasize how unusual and rare it is to have zero contango in the silver futures strip. As of the close on Friday, which is last Friday, the spot price for silver was $29.07. The closing price for the December 2015 futures contract was $29.02. December 2015. Today we're in 2011. Okay? That's what he's talking about. So it was actually 5 cents less. I repeat, less than today's spot price for delivery 4 years from now. The few futures contracts that were above the spot price were all within 2 cents of it. For all intents and purposes, silver is in a zero contango situation now. Just below is the closing strip from Friday the 4th, courtesy of InsideStocks.com. We don't need to see that right now. That means that there is heavy demand for immediate delivery of silver. It means that silver players are earning a premium to sell physical silver for delivery now and to wait for the return of the metal until the March contract, the near active contract, which is trading at 1.6 cents lower than spot. Full-blown backwardation has arrived in the COMEX silver futures market. Backwardation suggests that competition for whatever metal is available is heavy, and most analysts consider silver backwardation to be a decidedly bullish condition. By the way, as of Friday, there was only enough silver metal in the registered category in the COMEX depositories to accommodate 8,680 COMEX contracts, or 43.4 million ounces, or about 6.6% of the 130.6 thousand contracts open as of Thursday's tally. Another 59 million ounces was listed as eligible, and some of that metal could conceivably be coaxed into the registered category at some price. Some of the eligible silver is likely already committed for other purposes and is merely stored in the COMEX system awaiting delivery. Evidence of tightness in the silver market continues to surface, in other words. In addition to the near zero contango in silver, we also noted some interesting developments in the commitments of traders report just released Friday. We plan to mention some of them as well as our own trading intentions in the notations in our linked graphs on the subscribers pages below, or tomorrow, Sunday at 1800 hours Eastern. Vultures got gold report subscribers. Please log in and navigate to the charts, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, that's about it for that. And he says, here's the article by Adrian Douglas, I think he's with GATA. And he says, on September 21st, 2010, I published an article entitled More Forensic Evidence of Gold and Silver Price Manipulation. In that article, I showed how silver from 2003 to 2010 had never traded freely at all. I showed that silver was algorithmically traded with gold, and there was a very clear relationship between the price of gold and the price of silver. For those who haven't read the previous article, the following figure demonstrates their relationship. Well, we don't need to see that. Figure 1 is a cross plot of the price of gold against the price of silver. For every trading day from June 2003 to September 2010, there are two linear relationships. One is pre-2008, and the second is post-2008. The stunning revelation from the data analysis was that if on any day I knew what the price of gold was, I would be able to calculate the silver price from the equation of the relationship. How is that possible in a free market? It simply is not possible, and so the conclusion is that silver is not in a free market, but is manipulated to move algorithmically with the price of gold. I have written many articles that show that gold is itself manipulated and suppressed. For example, see gold market is not fixed, it's rigged. I have updated the chart, blah, blah, blah. Since 2010 September, silver has broken its golden shackles. The algorithmic trading that kept the price of silver subdued for 7 years has been completely annihilated. On Friday, silver closed in complete backwardation on the COMEX. Spot silver closed at 79.07, while February 2011 closed at 29.06, and December 2015 closed at 29.02. I believe this is the first time in history that this has happened. Silver traded in backwardation between the spot price and futures contract up to 1 year out during the blatantly manipulated precious metals bashing of January, but now the entire futures structure is in backwardation. This is a sure sign there are shortages of silver because it means that buyers will pay a premium for silver delivered sooner rather than later. Signs of shortages have also been apparent from a shrinking silver inventory on the COMEX in the face of rising prices. The registered inventory stands at a paltry 43 million ounces. In addition, there is a lot of anecdotal evidence that there are tight supplies everywhere. There are reports of refineries refusing to take new orders due to insufficient silver feedstock. News out of China recently showed that China's net imports of silver quadrupled in 2010 to 3,500 tons, or 112 million ounces. China has traditionally been a silver exporter. For example, in 2005, China made net exports of 3,000 tons of silver. Now all of a sudden, they're buying heavy duty. The U.S. Mint reported last week a record month in Silver Eagle sales in January of 6.4 million ounces. 6.4 million ounces in a January of all months is like shocking, unheard of. January is not a good month for Silver Eagles, or any silver for that matter, normally speaking. And they had a record month, 6.4 million ounces sold of the Silver Eagles. Silver Eagles are the coins you want, by the way. If you have a choice when you go and buy silver, you will pay more of a premium for the Silver Eagles, probably $2 more of a premium than a normal silver coin. So, in other words, if silver is $30 today, you can go get some no-name, whatever, silver coins. It doesn't matter, it's still silver, for $31. If you want an Eagle, you're going to pay $33, is what I'm saying. Doesn't matter, because that's the premium, and when you go to sell them, and when it's $50 and you go to sell them, or $100 and you go to sell them, that premium isn't going to be $2 or $3 over spot price anymore. It's going to be like $15 over spot price or $10 over spot price. The reason why I'm also telling you to get them from they come from the U.S. Mint, but that's not where you buy them from. But the reason you want the Silver Eagle, another reason, kind of like crash J.P. Morgan, buy silver, crash J.P. Morgan, stab them in the heart. How about you stab the U.S. Mint in the heart, so to speak, and take all of their silver supply that they've got, so that they have to issue a bulletin on their website and all vendors of silver, we are halting Silver Eagle production at this time due to, and they'll put in some nonsense probably, but if they're honest, maybe if they're honest, we'll hear, well, because we don't have a supply of silver right now. And then you look out below, you're going to see a complete spike in silver, as if someone, dropped something on your toe and you jumped. I mean, that fast, boom. So, if you have a choice, get the Silver Eagles. Let's clean out the Silver Eagles so we can force the U.S. Mint to say, hey, we can't make any more, which will cause everyone else to cause a panic, kind of like J.P. Morgan himself did in 1929, caused a bank run by saying, hey, that big bank over there is insolvent, printing it in all of the newspapers all over the place. People got scared. I'm taking my money out. There was no FDIC, no insurance. Oh, my God, if that bank's insolvent, that was a big bank, then my bank might be too. I got to run and get my money out. And everybody did it, and they were cleaned out the banks in no time, while everyone else left with an empty bag. J.P. Morgan did it on purpose so that he could buy up all those failed banks for pennies on the dollar, which he did do. And as soon as he was done doing it, he then tells his boys at the Federal Reserve, which was created just a few years earlier, 1913, hey, put on the printing press, give out some money, let's get these loans going, increase the money supply. You got it, buddy. They did it. He's got his loans from the Federal Reserve. Hey, I'm going to use that money to buy out all these banks for pennies on the dollar. Worked like a charm. And guess what they're doing right now? Guess what they're doing right now? Who got all the money? The big banks, and including J.P. Morgan. All these banks have failed, and every week, every Friday, go to www.fdic.gov, and the first thing you will see in the top left kind of corner is usually anywhere between 3 to 5 banks sometimes. Failed bank, failed bank, failed bank, failed bank. Every week, every Friday. And you're usually going to find they are well over $100 million costing the FDIC out of the DIF fund that they have, which, by the way, went negative about a year ago or more. Matter of fact, it went negative, I think, in 2009. It's in the red. Who knows how much in the red they are? And by law, I think they only have a $500 billion lending window to the Treasury directly. So when they use up all that money, collapsing all these banks and shotgun marrying them off, what happens to the rest of us who say, hey, I got FDIC insurance? Yeah, you did, but we used up all the money shotgun marrying off these banks, and now JP Morgan and Bank of America and you know who got all the banks, but we can't give you the money that you had FDIC insurance on because it's not there. I don't think they're going to do that this time, to be honest with you, because they really don't want people in the streets here in this country. They really don't want that, trust me. So they may just pass a law that says, oh, the window for the Treasury to the FDIC is wide open, you take as much money as you need. Just like they're going to raise the 14.3 whatever trillion dollar to 15 whatever here shortly. You can pretty much bet on that, which is going to make gold and silver go up even higher, of course. I was in the grocery store today getting a few things on the way home. I see a little bottle of ocean spray, whatever, cranberry juice stuff. It was the bigger bottle with the little handle on the side. $5 and something. Like 39. I was in Publix. Okay, sorry about that. But I was in Publix. Doesn't matter. $5.39 for this thing of cranberry juice. Shouldn't that have back in the day cost like $2 something, maybe $3? Yeah, it did. Used to. Not anymore. Anyways, the U.S. Mint reported that they had record sales. This update of my previous work adds more fuel to the fire that the dynamics of the silver market have dramatically changed. Because silver has been suppressed for so long, we do not know what its free market price should be. But we are going to find out soon, and I strongly suspect it will be many multiples of the current price. You know what, Adrian Douglas? Yeah, he is with GATA. Gold antitrust something. It's like these guys are on top of silver and putting the pressure on the politicians and the COMEX and the CFTC and those guys, which is great. Yeah, Adrian, listen, buddy. It's going to be many multiples. I got a Webout report. I've got my own personal knowledge. I've got my research, etc. I know how this ends. It's going to be many, many, many multiples of where it's at right now, $30 an ounce. Trust me. I'm sure he probably knows that. As he just said, it's going to be multiples. So that's all I want to share with you. And again, I got my new website up. It's for all of us to keep each other up to date, put the good news in there. Let's stay on top of this stuff. We'll have a place that we know isn't going to get taken down. And I don't play that games that some of these other websites play where they do a blanket ban of people because they get spammed or they get hit or attacked by some virus or something, and all of a sudden he starts banning everybody and banning IP addresses. You can't view the site. You can't post. I don't have time for nonsense. I don't have time for silly little games. So at realistnews.net, that's where I'm going to post things. And I mean, I've got 1,000, 1,100 subscribers now on my YouTube. So, you know, if you guys want to help a brother out, a fellow doomer, you know, go ahead in there. Let's start posting stuff. Let's help each other out, keep us updated, and, you know, go from there. See what happens. So, anyways, nice talking to you, and I will talk to you later. Alright, I thought I was done. I'm not done. I just caught something at the end of that thing I was reading you, and someone commented and said, hey, there's a large bullion dealer over here in the UK. They are out of everything in silver right now, and the next shipment, according to all the things they sell, is at the end of February, is when they expect the next amount so that they can sell it. So I went to the link he provided, bullionbypost.co.uk/silver-bars, and this page comes up, and I clicked on a few of these things. 10 or 100 gram bar, 0.999, next stock end February 2011. So next stock, none in stock, end of February is all it says. That's the smallest one. Then you have a 250, 500, 1 kilo, and a 5 kilo. Let's look at the 5 kilo. That's a big bar, and most people don't want these huge bars for the most part. Oh, same thing. Next available stock, end of February. Let's look at the 500 gram. In stock. They have some in stock of the 500 gram bars. Look at that. Let's see what else. The 250 gram. Nope, out of stock. Same thing, end of February. 1 kilo. Same thing. Next stock, this one says arriving the 16th of February. But the rest of them, aside from that other one, which they said they had in stock, they don't have any. So, this is a major bullion dealer, by the way, over there. This isn't some small shop. This isn't the coin dealer down the street. This is like calling Monex or calling APMEX. And a little while back, APMEX is now leasing the ex-Federal Reserve building out of, was it Chicago? I don't quite remember, but it was one of the first buildings ever created after the Federal Reserve, heavily guarded back then. This thing has like 3-foot walls of some kind of like limestone, something granite or limestone walls that are like, a fortress. Inside has its own shooting range. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was reading. And APMEX is now running that place. Massive vaults, massive security. I mean, this is the kind of, in other words, this is the Bullion by Post is a big site. They don't play around. It's not some little tiny mom and pop shop like I can go down the street here in Brandon, Florida, and go get some coins. And even the mom and pop shops got plenty of money to spend, buying your coins or selling you stuff. But I just wanted to add that. So we are getting down to the wire here with silver. If you don't got any, man, you better hurry up. I know I've said that many times, and again, I've been saying this to people in my friends list everywhere else since 2007, when it was $14, $15. It dropped down to $10 in 2009. I sent out an email blast to everybody: get some now. You'll never see it this low again, ever. And that was when Lehman Brothers collapsed or whatever, and JP Morgan got all of their contracts, which they were short on silver, and they had to make good on all their contracts, so it pushed all the prices down. I bought a bunch of silver eagles, $10 spot price. I think I paid $12.25 a piece. I was ecstatic. I was very happy, and I'm very happy today. Anyways, that's it. Talk to y'all later.